morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Welcome to Monday, slightly later than scheduled. We are still in the throes of summer holidays. It's a very short show at Rise Up Show today. Just while I get ready for the day, my calls actually start at 10 a.m. this morning. Big week ahead at IATQB HQ. And the whole premise of the show at Rise Up Show is that we kick off the week together, we check in midweek, and on a Friday, we celebrate our successes. So last Friday just gone, we had a lot to celebrate. We were, I was sharing with you all of the incredible, crazy, momentous, is that a word?
Momentous.
Yeah. Do you know when a word suddenly lost its meaning the second it exited your mouth? That's exactly what happened then. Momentous. It was definitely momentous last week. So I was sharing with you all of those incredible things. And this week is about setting intentions. So if you are watching along this morning, come and check in and come and tell us what are your intentions for this week while I put on my face, ready for lots of lovely meetings. So it might feel a little bit weird that I'm just putting a makeup on for. If you are just tuning in for the first time to the show, Rise Up Show, this is literally how I built an audience in the first instance. Years and years and years ago, I was a singer and I would sing all over the place. And I got really bored of playing dressing room roulette. And dressing room roulette, for anybody that is in the entertainment industry, will know that you will turn up to a venue and sometimes you'll get given a beautiful backstage area to go and get ready. And sometimes you will get given a broom cupboard. And to keep myself sort of safe, I decided in the end I just didn't want to play dressing room roulette anymore. I would just get ready in my car. So I would pop my phone up on the dashboard, press go live, lock my doors so that it was recorded in case I got mugged or the car got hijacked or something. And I would put on my makeup and talk to you guys about what it was that I was getting up to. And this grew into going live regularly and eventually into the show at Rise Up Show. So it is not unknown for me to put my makeup on whilst I'm talking to you about the things that I'm learning about. And today I want to talk to you about LinkedIn. Does anybody use LinkedIn? Let me know if you're watching along on LinkedIn. Come and say hello this morning. LinkedIn is a platform that I have only been learning, I guess, for the past, actually properly learning for the past maybe 12 months. I've had some phenomenal support getting my LinkedIn sort of off the ground in the form of the gorgeous Kathy Byam, who's helped me sort of get started over there and has handed back the reins to me whilst I build an audience over there, an engaged audience. And I'm finding it very interesting because here's the thing. Like, first of all, I want to know if you're watching along this morning, come and say hello. Don't be a voyeur. Don't just dip in and out. I want you to join this conversation with me today because I want to know if it's not just me. So I have built a phenomenal community here in the online space. I've built a phenomenal community on Facebook, a brilliant community on Instagram, in my email list, sort of out and about. And LinkedIn is the kind of the next nut I want to crack, essentially, because it is a business community. It is a conversations community. And I definitely feel like that over there are many more people for me to meet, and I would describe them as in the real world, if you will. Now, I know all of you watching are in the actual real world, but it tends to be with my Facebook community, people that reside, work, and play in the online space. Whereas with LinkedIn, it's much more varied in terms of entrepreneurs. These entrepreneurs that are over there aren't necessarily, too much in the online space. So it's good for me as somebody who's always expanding my networks to have networks in different spaces, right? So LinkedIn is definitely a focus. Certainly the more that I do in real life networking, the preferred method of connection tends to be in the professional space because we've met in the professional space. Whereas with the other social media platforms, we've met where the two cross over, where personal space and professional space kind of cross over. However, I've got a little bit of a difficulty going on with LinkedIn because I think potentially because I've curated my audience and curated the people that I've connected with really sort of, what's the word? Intentionally. People that follow me and my content have been doing so for a while and I've already I know what people like and what people don't like over here. And when new people come along, I've already kind of established presence. As such, my no knobheads policy in terms of my community is very strong in that I don't really have a lot of knobheads that are in my community because they know that if they join the hive, for example, and there is any knobheadish behavior, they're just politely ejected from the the group. And what I mean by knobheads is people that aren't willing to engage in kind, compassionate, open-minded conversation with the intent being kind and compassionate and with the reception being kind and compassionate. So in the spirit of curiosity, bringing conversations to the table, curiosity to and from each other. People who think they can go around and smack people on the head with their opinion stick and expect people to come around to where their way of thinking isn't really the one. It's not the way that I do business. It's not the way that I share opinion. And on Instagram and on Facebook, I think because I've been on those platforms for so long, my community are aware of that and behave accordingly. Because I don't have a lot of personal presence over on LinkedIn yet, that's changing. Like currently, that's changing. It means that I'm a voyeur at the minute of some of these conversations, whilst I understand where's best to pitch my conversation, where is best. Like it's all well and good. Like I'm here and we're streaming over on LinkedIn at the moment. If you are watching on LinkedIn, you can see me putting on my makeup, having a conversation about LinkedIn. But actually, in terms of sort of posting and all of that sort of stuff, I don't do a huge amount of it yet because I want to make sure that I am not saying the right things because it shouldn't matter. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, but engaging in the right way so that I can be a magnet to people. Hang on a second. Let's have a look. That's weird, Felicity's saying. I wanted to be on here when you started and was late because I was distracted on LinkedIn. I was late because summer holidays, so don't worry. You're here right on time. Sue Blackhurst, good morning to you. Loving this show. LinkedIn is a great platform, and I see it. But I don't know if it's because I've not quite curated my algorithm strongly enough on there yet, or I'm just going to come out and say it. It is a free-for-all for the stale pale male. In that, I see people making really pertinent and intelligent statements or sparking intelligent, pertinent debates, particularly around the topic of race, around the topic of feminism, around the topic of equity and equality, of diversity and inclusion and sustainability. So all conversations are very, very close to my heart. But it seems that there are a lot of really strange people with very archaic views making a lot of noise quite aggressively on that platform. I've not experienced that for the longest time over on Facebook or over on Instagram because I don't know, maybe I curate it a little bit more tightly. And because I'm sort of learning from other people at the minute, I'm going to where the conversations are. So if the algorithm is serving me up a conversation, I'm going in to have a look. But then what I see, and I'm yet to be proven otherwise. So I've got to really figure this out yet from a LinkedIn perspective. And if you are on LinkedIn, it is your sort of home platform. Do let me know. Is this just the case? Is it just that I'm just going to have to either engage in the debate and weed out the mess, or are there safer spaces? I don't know. It feels a little bit like a dick swing, and I'm not down for it. So I am here for LinkedIn, 100% here for LinkedIn. I know how it's going to help me grow my business. I'm engaging with it actively. I'm engaging with folks on there actively, but it's not even a boardroom feeling. So Amy Blaine is just saying LinkedIn gives me the boardroom feeling, like why am I here, little woman syndrome, I stay away. There are some people like really ripping up trees over there that are really sort of making massive impact, and it's brilliant to see. But I just feel like, much like the comment section of the Sun newspaper, there is a lot of sort of microaggressive, sometimes it's not even microaggression that's happening in, and maybe because the debates are public debates, maybe because the posts are really sort of public posts, and I think people gain far more connections than they do maybe friends or followers on Instagram or Facebook. What are your thoughts about this? It's a different audience, it's far more corporate. Sue Blackhurst is saying it is. Yes, I get that, and it is far more corporate, 100%. However, what I'm finding is in the comments section of some really intelligent debate that I'm finding, oh, well, obviously you're going to say this because you're a woman, but things like this don't really happen anymore. Like, there's such a naivety on LinkedIn. Hello, Marcus Wright, my darling. Welcome. Good morning from LinkedIn. I've been growing my platform on LinkedIn for a while now, and you're right. There's still a lot of straight white cis men with dominant views in the world of business. It is very corporate. It feels it. And I think the interesting thing is that because I've been growing my community in the way that I have over on the more social platforms, I've not been experiencing it the same. And when people come to me and they want to speak about their business and they feel scared because of this sort of aggressive, uber toxic masculine, hyper privileged space that is business, I can see why people are still scared to enter into the field. I can see it. Emma, I agree. It can be like that. I got a little bored with LinkedIn over the last few years. I don't see that as much as you're saying, but many of my connections are in HR, so maybe I'm seeing different things on my thread. I am definitely seeing within HR, particularly with the D&I conversation, you know, I don't know, it feels quite aggressive in certain spaces. Sam, good morning, Sam Eris. I'm currently trying to embrace LinkedIn, but it's so corporate and full of all that workplace negativity that I've worked hard to escape from. It makes me feel icky. I definitely see the potential and so persevering. And I think the thing is here is that we've got to be the lighthouse for the right conversations and almost be prepared. I guess for anybody that's been building a business in the Instagram or in the Facebook space for a long time, there's a lot of conversation over ignore the trolls or don't feed the trolls or, haters gonna hate. And there's a lot of galvanism around that. So that I think that we've curated a bit of an echo chamber where we don't see it as much. And when we do see it, it's like the odd person. I think it's all training for this. I think it's all training for getting over there into really the lion's den. Really the lion's den of where really everybody is. Instead of these sort of carefully curated echo chambers. And I think that that's the thing that I'm learning, that is it that I have to carefully curate another echo chamber? I don't really want to live in an echo chamber, by the way. Like, I really want to experience lots of people's experiences. And so that I can learn as an avid and constant and consistent learner, it is imperative that I'm able to temperature check what's going on out in the world, for sure. I just don't think I was ready for the dick swing. It's the only way I can explain it. It's the only way that I can explain it. So if you are over on LinkedIn, I would love to connect with you over there as I curate an audience, bearing in mind that the IATQB platform, the IATQB space is about being inclusive and kind and community centric. while still maintaining that ability to be honest and share your lived experience in a safe way, that we have to, as a wider community, business and otherwise, understand that people, lots of people from lots of different backgrounds, and if that's what you're trying to be a part of, the melting pot of life, then you have to understand that people have lived experiences, and we have to also understand that there's truth in those lived experiences. And just because you haven't had that lived experience doesn't negate the person who is coming forward with their lived experience. It doesn't negate their experience. And that's what I'm seeing a lot of. The negation of someone's actually saying, here's my truth, here's something that I've experienced. And then someone coming along going, no, you didn't. That doesn't happen anymore. You're being stupid. You're overreacting. You're being hysterical. Like, actually, people saying that. When we're talking about gender pay gap, when we're talking about disability inclusion, when we're talking about I've just stabbed myself in the eye. What a knobhead. When we're talking about the lived experience of people of colour in the workspace, when we're talking about actually what are microaggressions, and microaggressions, sometimes the perpetrator doesn't even realise that they're perpetrating microaggressions. But what we've got to be as a community that's growing is understand, okay, so could this be perceived as am I being aggressive towards this person? Felicity, what are you saying? I'm not finding that. I've been on for a long time and not very active. I'm pretty selective about who I'm following, though. Maybe I'm not digging into the comments enough to see the toxicity. I must dig deeper because I'd love to be that lighthouse. 100%. I think and I'm very blessed, because the person that has been growing and curating my connection base over on LinkedIn is a person of color who is very astute and aware of different minority experiences within the D&I conversation. Also, as a person of colour herself, means actually she's curated for me an incredible connection base where incredible conversations are taking place. But because of that, because of the level of conversation that's taking place over there, the people that are coming forward with these very, very healthy, forward-thinking, needle-moving debate topics and conversation points, that it really is drawing out people that maybe I would describe as the dinosaurs. And as we all know, the dinosaurs are, becoming extinct. The meteor shower is occurring. But interesting. I just wanted to kind of gauge from you guys that who are active on there. Is it just me, or does it still feel like a dick swing where people are coming forward and going, oh, well, actually, I know the most about this particular topic, and here's the article that I wrote about this particular topic, and blah, 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 blah. And actually, your lived experience, I'm completely negating, because that doesn't really happen anymore, does it? Yeah, it does. I've found you've got to keep on keeping on with your brand. Yeah, I've never changed what I do, but now because of the consistency, more people are coming around to my idea of fabulosity. Yes, I think that, and I hate saying it, it comes back to generational. 100%. When you think about Insta, Facebook, TikTok, it's a completely different vibe because of the generations that interact with them. You're saying it, Marcus, you're taking us to church here. With LinkedIn, it appears to be the older generations or generations of people who are set in their ways, right? And if your working tends to be in the corporate space, then we've always done things the way we've always done things. So in the really, really flexible entrepreneurial environment, you're finding that these D&I conversations are moving very quickly and are being welcomed to the front of the mind. And actually, there are a lot of people trying to hold on to things the way that they always were, the way that they always have been, in order to keep themselves comfortable. Whereas actually, we need to be in a space now where we're willing to sit on the spike, where we're willing to say, no, I need to get gloriously uncomfortable. And, the IATQB community is nothing if not about getting gloriously uncomfortable. There have been many times where I've had to sit on the spike with regards to what I've said or what I've curated, and then allow myself to learn, allow myself to know better, and therefore do better. So I think that's kind of the avenue that I'm going to maintain, is the avenue that I've always maintained. Is just, I find it very interesting because it's still very new to me, the volume of alternative conversation where that is concerned, where LinkedIn is. I'm like, is it just that I'm super left wing? And I don't think it is. It's not. I sort of fall left, definitely left of the middle, but hey. Do you think LinkedIn looks at CV above life experience, value, and worth? YouTube would be a brilliant platform for you. It's all about being able to be real. Yeah. Do you know what? We stream over onto YouTube. So we've got lots and lots and lots and lots of content on YouTube, but we've not done any focus on any sort of SEO or optimization over there. So whilst we put the show out over there with very little interaction from YouTube, but I am totally here for any and all of it. We need to make those people who are insisting everyone does what we've always done gloriously uncomfortable. Yeah, for sure. Emma, I deliver lots of D&I workshops in corporate. I'm always surprised at how little people know, and leaders who have not taken it upon themselves to educate themselves, right? And it's a necessity. It's absolutely a necessity. So join me as we continue our foray into LinkedIn. You can follow me. It's the same across the socials at the Queen Bee Danny. All of my extra bits and pieces are on there as well. You can follow me on YouTube at the Queen Bee Danny, on Instagram. In fact, I think we're about 10 followers away from 6,000 followers on Instagram, which is no mean feat considering we are organically growing over there. From just in the last sort of 18 months, 2 years. So really, really excited to hit that milestone this week of fantastic people entering into glorious conversation. Something I wanted to show you before I go. I met somebody on Friday from a company called Vice. Check these babies out. These are, so I'm looking for different people to come and exhibit at Be Inspired, which is on the 29th and 30th of September at Manchester United Stadium. We've got for the very first time an expo space as well as 2 days of phenomenal talks. So we've got 22 speakers over the course of 2 days, all delivering sort of TED-style talks, interviews, panel discussions. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, but we have a whole expo space as well. We've got some brilliant companies that have partnered with us for it, likes of Vodafone, the AA, loads and loads of fantastic big companies and small companies. And one of the companies that I met on Friday was Vice. And look what these guys create. So it's spelled V1CE, but it gives you this. This is your business card. So I've actually submitted one of these business cards. They made this one for me. It's got I Am the Queen Bee on. We've submitted one to be in wood, in bamboo, black bamboo with the IATQB logo on. So it's like, it looks like Wallace designed it with, so he's a Transformers fan. So it looks like a Transformers emblem. But check this out. So when you meet people, I had not seen these before and I completely fell in love. So there's my phone. I know it's messy. Sorry if you're super tired, you have things in folders. Wallace has all these in folders. Mine is a bit of a free-for-all. This is a direct outward. This is what my brain looks like. All these different tabs that are open. Then we've got this. Watch what happens. So you meet someone, you go, hey, what's your details? Let's connect. Look at this. That's all my details, all branded up. So I can meet someone, tap my card on the phone, saves any of that, oh, here's how you spell my handle, like literally tap your card on the phone. And then it takes you straight through to their LinkedIn, to their Twitter, to their Instagram. So then you just press the little icon there and then it loads up with your social media. How ace is that? So if you go to, I'll pop a little link in the IAT, 11 followers away from 6,000, straight to Instagram and to LinkedIn and to Twitter. How cool is that? And then if you don't have an NFC capability on your phone, you can just scan the QR code. But yeah, super duper pooper scooper company. And for every business card that they sell, they plant a tree. And if you buy through the IATQB link that I'll share with you today, they donate 15% to the Flying Away Foundation. So really, really cool partnership with Vice hopefully we'll be seeing them at Be Inspired as well. But yeah, I'll share the link for you. That's it from me today, my darlings. If you haven't yet got your ticket to Be Inspired, make sure you do. 2 days of awesomeness on the 29th and 30th of September. I am the queenbee.co.uk. That is how you get hold of a ticket. There are still tables available. I think we've got 40 tickets left, 39 tickets left, and then we are sold out, which I'm really, really excited about. It is a great alternative to Linktree now. It does the same job, but you connect in the moment. Right, my loves, have a phenomenal day and meet me over on LinkedIn at the Queen Bee Danny or over on Insta at the Queen Bee Danny. Of course, as ever, in the IATQB Hive. It stands for I am the Queen Bee or the King Bee or the Sovereign Bee, however it is you identify. We are an inclusive community where conversation is definitely welcomed. I will see you all on Wednesday for more Showing Up, Wising Up and Rising Up. Take care.